In a quiet neighborhood on the edge of Rochester City, the golden leaves were shining, showing that autumn had come. Jennifer Aniston, now 70 years old, clearly remembered the events from about 42 years ago, moments that changed her life. She thought about her fights with her mother-in-law, the arguments with her sister, and the painful goodbye with her dear father. From the large living room window, Jennifer watched her 10-year-old granddaughter Barbara playing in the garden. Barbara looked a lot like young Jennifer, long Aniston hair, smart eyes, and most of all, a kind heart that always thought about others. "Barbara, come here," Jennifer called. Barbara stopped playing and ran to her grandmother. "What is it, Grandma?" she asked. Jennifer gently wiped the sweat off Barbara's forehead. "Would you like to hear a story about when I was your age?" Jennifer asked. Barbara sat down beside her, eyes wide with excitement.
Yes.
"I want to know, what were you like when you were little?" Jennifer smiled. "This isn't just a story. It's part of our family's past, and there's a lesson in it too." She took a deep breath and began to remember memories she had kept hidden for a long time. "When I was 31, she began, "I was living on the Upper East Side of Rochester City. The city was busy, full of tall buildings, but our home stayed peaceful. I had just started finding success as a lawyer." Her father, Henry Aniston, had just retired at 66. He had worked as a history professor at Fordham University. Jennifer also had a younger sister named Linda, who was 5 years younger than her. Linda was friendly and fun, but she didn't take life seriously. She had a job at an advertising company but cared more about going to parties and dating than working hard. Their mother, Lauren, loved Linda the most and often ignored Jennifer. Lauren, a housewife who cared a lot about her place in high society, wanted both her daughters to marry well. One autumn evening, the family sat around the dinner table. Outside, the leaves in Central Park were glowing in the soft light. Lauren looked excited and said, "Jennifer, you'll come to the garden party next month, won't you? The Rockefellers will be there too." Jennifer put down her fork and let out a sigh.
Sorry, Mom.
"I have a deadline for an important case," Jennifer said. Lauren frowned. "That's too bad. Linda will be there. She might meet some young men from the Rockefeller family." Jennifer felt a sharp pain in her heart. She was used to not getting her mother's love. It still hurt. "Work is important too, Mom," she said. "Yes, but Jennifer," Lauren scolded, "you're already 31. It doesn't look good to still be single at your age." Linda laughed. "That's right, big sister. You won't find a man if all you do is work." Jennifer quietly started clearing the plates. Only her father, Henry, looked at her with understanding. The next day, Jennifer and her father went for a walk. The trees in Central Park were starting to turn colors, showing that autumn was here. "Dad, Jennifer struggled to find the words. "I don't know if I can keep living like this, all together." Henry gently put his arm around her shoulders. "Jennifer, you are a wonderful daughter. I'm proud of you. Your mother and Linda have their own way of thinking, but you should follow your own path." Jennifer's eyes filled with tears.
Thank you, Dad.
"But it's hard. Mom and Linda just don't understand me." Henry gave her a soft smile. "Life is long, Jennifer. Things may be difficult now, but one day you'll understand each other. Until then, keep going the way you believe in." Encouraged by her father's words, Jennifer made up her mind. "I understand, Dad.
I'll do my best."
From that day forward, Jennifer focused even more on her work. She chose to chase her own dreams, not what her family wanted for her. But the distance between her and her family grew. Lauren became more upset that Jennifer didn't come to social events. Linda kept making fun of her sister's choices. Still, Jennifer continued to grow in her career as a lawyer. She worked on many cases helping people who were treated unfairly. Slowly, her coworkers and clients began to trust and respect her. One day, Jennifer took on a very important case. She was defending a whistleblower, someone who was speaking out against a powerful company. Winning or losing this case could change her career. Jennifer worked day and night, gathering evidence and planning her arguments. Her father, Henry, was the only one who quietly supported her. "Don't push yourself too hard," he told her, seeing how tired she looked. Jennifer smiled. "It's okay, Dad. This means a lot to me. Meanwhile, Lauren and Linda didn't try to understand why Jennifer worked so hard. Working again? Linda said with a sigh. Do you even enjoy your life? Lauren agreed. That's right, Jennifer. You'll never meet anyone nice if you're always working. Jennifer quietly sighed. She had a secret she hadn't told them. She was actually engaged to Frank Welker, a man she had known since college. He was now a children's doctor. However, Jennifer couldn't find the right time to tell her family about her engagement. She was afraid of how they might react, especially her mother, Lauren, who might judge Frank for not being rich or from a well-known family. Meanwhile, Jennifer's whistleblower case was moving forward. Her hard work paid off, and the company's wrongdoing was finally exposed. It became big news in the legal world, and Jennifer's reputation grew. But at home, she couldn't share her happiness. Lauren and Linda didn't seem truly happy for her. Instead, they acted cold. Well, isn't that something? Lauren said in a sarcastic voice. But are you sure being this famous is a good idea? Will you still be able to find a husband? Feeling hurt, Jennifer thought of her father's words. Keep walking the path you believe in. Yes, this was her choice. Then, in the spring of 2005, something terrible happened. Henry, Jennifer's father, fell down the stairs at home and hurt his back badly. That day, Jennifer was in the middle of an important court case. Her phone was on silent, so she didn't see the many missed calls from her mother until the trial was over. She called back right away, feeling worried. Mom, what's wrong? Lauren's voice was shaky. Jennifer, I finally reached you. It's terrible. Your dad fell down the stairs. We're at the hospital. Jennifer's heart sank. I understand. I'm coming now. She rushed to the hospital. When she arrived, Lauren and Linda were already there. Henry was awake, but in a lot of pain. The doctor gave them bad news. Mrs. Aniston, his injury is serious. He has a complicated hip fracture and needs surgery. Recovery will take a long time. Lauren was very upset. Oh no, this is awful. What are we going to do now? Jennifer stayed calm. Mom, I'll adjust my work. I'll take care of Dad. Linda looked confused. But, sis, don't you have important work to do? Jennifer looked at her. Family is more important, Linda. The surgery went well, but Henry's recovery was slow. Jennifer took care of him while also keeping up with her job. She worked during the day and sometimes stayed at the hospital overnight. One day, Henry woke up and saw Jennifer sitting beside him. Jennifer, he said weakly. Dad, are you okay? Do you need anything? She asked gently. Henry smiled. No, I don't need anything. I'm just happy you're here. Jennifer held his hand. Of course, Dad. I'm always here for you. He looked at her lovingly. Jennifer, you've become so strong. But remember to take care of yourself too. Jennifer fought back tears. I know, Dad. I'll stay with you until you get better. Meanwhile, Lauren and Linda didn't help much. They came to the hospital but never stayed long. They often left quickly. One day, Jennifer turned to them and asked, Hey, Linda, I have an important business trip this weekend. Can you take care of Dad? Jennifer asked. Linda frowned. Sorry, Jennifer. I'm going to Providence with some friends. Lauren also shook her head. It's hard for me too. I have a ladies' meeting. Jennifer felt disappointed, but not surprised. I see, she said quietly. Then I guess I'll have to cancel my trip. That night, Jennifer sat alone in her father's hospital room and cried. Henry, weak but awake, tried to comfort her. Jennifer, you're doing enough, he said softly. Don't blame yourself. Jennifer held his hand tightly. Dad, I'll do my best. I'll make sure you get better. As the days went by, Jennifer struggled to balance her job and taking care of her father. Her coworkers understood and tried to support her, but it was still hard. Managing her time while handling big legal cases was a constant challenge. One day, while walking through the hospital hallway, Jennifer unexpectedly ran into Frank. Jennifer. Frank called out, surprised. Jennifer gave a tired smile. Frank, what are you doing here? I'm doing my rounds in the children's ward, he said gently. Are you here for your dad? Jennifer nodded. Yes, I'm looking after him. Frank looked concerned. Are you okay? Are you pushing yourself too hard? Jennifer let out a deep sigh. Honestly, it's been really hard. Work, family stuff, it's all too much sometimes. Frank gently placed a hand on her shoulder. Let me know if I can help. We'll get through this together. Jennifer felt deeply thankful. Thank you, Frank. It means a lot to have you here. Suddenly, they heard fast footsteps from the nurse's station. Miss Aniston, a nurse called out. Your father's condition has changed. Jennifer felt her heart sink. She quickly looked at Frank and ran to her father's room. Inside, the doctors were moving quickly. Henry was struggling to breathe, and he looked very weak.
Dad.
Jennifer cried. One of the doctors turned to her. Miss Aniston, your father has developed serious pneumonia. We need to move him to the ICU right away. Jennifer, shocked but trying to stay calm, asked, What should I do? For now, leave it to us, the doctor said. Can you call your family? Jennifer nodded and took out her phone with shaky hands. She didn't want to call Lauren and Linda, but this wasn't the time to hold back. Mom, she said on the phone, Dad's condition has suddenly gotten worse. Please come to the hospital right away. Lauren sounded surprised and worried. Oh my, that's terrible. I'll come right away, Lauren said, then called Linda. Even Linda's voice sounded serious for once. A few hours later, the whole family gathered at the hospital, standing outside the ICU. They listened closely as the doctor spoke. Miss Aniston, the doctor said carefully, your father's condition is stable for now, but still very serious. The next few days are very important. Lauren broke down crying, and even Linda was in tears. Jennifer stayed quiet, but inside, she was filled with a storm of emotions. That night, Jennifer chose to stay at the hospital. Lauren and Linda were tired and went home, but Jennifer wanted to be near her father. Late at night, the hallway outside the ICU was silent. Jennifer sat alone, thinking. Then, she felt someone sit beside her. She looked over, it was Frank. Frank, Jennifer said, surprised. Frank gave her a gentle smile. I thought you might be here alone. Jennifer felt a wave of emotion. Thank you. Really, thank you. Frank quietly held her hand. Let's get through this together. I'm here for you. For the first time, Jennifer let herself show her true feelings. She leaned into Frank's shoulder and began to cry softly. He held her gently, saying nothing, just staying by her side. That night, Jennifer faced the feelings she had kept locked away for years. And for the first time, she realized she didn't have to carry everything alone. The next morning, the doctors said her father's condition had slightly improved. Jennifer breathed a sigh of relief. Looking out the window, she saw the sun rising. A new day was beginning. She whispered to herself, Dad, please get better. Let's be happy together again as a family. In that moment, she felt the importance of family more deeply than ever before. Henry's condition went up and down. Though he was no longer in immediate danger, a full recovery seemed far away. Jennifer visited him every day and helped with his rehab. One day, a doctor called Jennifer in to talk. His face was serious, and Jennifer's heart sank. Miss Aniston, he said, we have your father's test results. Jennifer braced herself as he continued. I'm very sorry, but we found late-stage pancreatic cancer. Jennifer was shocked. But he only had a fracture? The doctor nodded. We found it while doing tests for his injury. It's already very advanced. Sadly, there's not much we can do. Jennifer felt like the world was falling apart. How much time does he have? She asked, her voice shaking. The doctor sighed. It's hard to say exactly. Maybe 7 months to a year. Trying not to cry, Jennifer made a quiet promise to herself. She would treasure every moment they had left. She decided to quit her job and focus fully on caring for her father. Her fiancé, Frank, understood and supported her choice. I understand how you feel, Frank said kindly. Take all the time you need. My home is always open to you. Jennifer felt full of gratitude.
Thank you, Frank.
That really means a lot. But when she told Lauren and Linda about leaving her job, their reactions were cold. Are you crazy? Linda said with shock. You're giving up your whole career? Lauren agreed. That's right, Jennifer. What are you going to do after your father is gone? How will you support yourself? Jennifer tried to stay calm, even though she felt hurt and angry. Mom, right now Dad's health is the most important thing. Please don't worry about me. Even though she had quit her job, Jennifer wasn't alone. Frank was there for her, and because of his support, she could take a break from work. But she still hadn't told her family the full truth about him. One day, while Jennifer was sitting beside her father in the hospital, Henry slowly opened his eyes. Jennifer, he said in a weak voice. Dad, is something wrong? She asked softly. Henry gave a small smile. No, I just wanted to tell you something. Jennifer leaned in. What is it, Dad? It's about your fiancé. I know about him, Henry said gently. Jennifer looked at her father, surprised.
What?
How did you know? Henry held her hand lightly. I know you well, Jennifer. You looked happy, and I had a feeling. That told me enough. Jennifer's eyes filled with tears.
I'm sorry, Dad.
I didn't tell you earlier. Henry smiled. You don't have to say sorry. I'm sure you had your reasons. His name is Frank, right? Can you tell me more about him? Jennifer, still feeling a mix of surprise and relief, began to talk. She told her father how she met Frank, how they understood each other, and the dreams they shared for the future. As she spoke, her face lit up with happiness. Henry listened closely. I'm so glad to see you this happy, he said. But why didn't you tell your mom and sister? Jennifer paused before answering. I was scared. I thought they might judge him for not being rich or from a high-status family. Henry let out a deep sigh. I understand. Your mom and Linda can be a bit narrow-minded sometimes. But what really matters is your happiness. They'll come around eventually. Jennifer felt comforted by his words.
Thank you, Dad.
I just need a little more time. Henry nodded. I trust you. Then he seemed to remember something. Oh, right, Jennifer. There's something else I want to tell you. What is it, Dad? Jennifer leaned closer. I already paid for your wedding and the down payment for your new apartment, Henry said with a small, proud smile. Jennifer was shocked. Dad. Henry smiled again at her surprise. Actually, I've been saving little by little ever since you became a lawyer. I wanted to help with your future. Jennifer didn't know what to say. Her heart felt full from her father's love. Henry continued, I want you to be happy with Frank. I can see that you can have a good life with him. Jennifer held back tears and squeezed her father's hand. Dad, thank you so much. Henry smiled kindly. Don't worry about the money. It's my gift to you for the beginning of your new life. Jennifer was so touched that she couldn't speak. She gently hugged her father. Thank you, Dad. I promise I'll be happy. Henry gave her a soft smile. I'm glad to hear that. But Jennifer, there's one more thing I want to ask. Anything, Dad, Jennifer replied, listening closely. Henry paused for a moment, then spoke in a quiet voice. It's about your mother and Linda. Can you try to forgive them? Jennifer looked at her father in surprise. But, Dad, Henry gently continued, they each have their own story, especially your mother. He took a deep breath, choosing his words carefully. Actually, your mom had a hard time when she was young. Her family was very strict. She was never allowed to follow her own dreams. She always had to do what others expected. Jennifer listened silently, taking it all in. Without meaning to, Henry added, she passed that pain on to you and your sister. It was the first time Jennifer had heard about her mother's past. She felt a mix of emotions. I never knew that. Henry went on. Linda has been influenced by your mother too. Neither of them truly understands the pain they carry. But now you know more about where they're coming from. Jennifer sat quietly, thinking deeply. Hearing about her family's history gave her a new way to see things. Henry gently held her hand. I'm not asking you to fully understand them. But if you ever get a chance to make peace, I hope you take it. Family is something you can't replace. Jennifer nodded slowly. I understand, Dad. I can't promise anything, but I'll try. Henry looked peaceful. That's all I wanted to hear, Jennifer. I believe in you. From that day on, Jennifer made every moment with her father count. She even brought Frank to visit, and the three of them talked about the future. Henry's eyes lit up as he spoke about the grandchildren he hoped to meet one day. He wished for Jennifer and Frank to build a happy life together. But Henry's condition slowly got worse. Jennifer stayed by his side, holding on to their time together. One quiet night, as Jennifer sat with her father in the hospital room, holding his hand, Henry slowly opened his eyes. "Jennifer," he whispered, his voice rough and dry. "I'm proud of you." Those were Henry Aniston's last words. He passed away peacefully, with his loving daughter Jennifer by his side. Jennifer cried deeply. Losing her father, the person who had always supported and understood her, was a pain too deep for words. Frank rushed to her and held her in a quiet, comforting hug. Even in her sadness, Jennifer made a promise to herself. She would keep moving forward, carrying her father's memory with her. Henry's funeral was quiet and respectful, just like the way he had lived. Many of his former students and co-workers came to say goodbye. They shared stories about his love for teaching and his kind personality. Jennifer spoke as the main mourner. "My father loved both his work and his family," she said. "His lessons and love will stay in our hearts forever." Lauren and Linda didn't seem fully present during the funeral. They kept checking their phones and chatting with other guests. Jennifer was hurt by their behavior, but she remembered her father's words and held back her anger. After the funeral, when only the family was left, Lauren and Linda suddenly made a shocking announcement. "Jennifer, about your father's inheritance," Lauren said, looking at her coldly. "Linda and I will get everything." Jennifer was shocked.
What?
"What are you talking about?" Linda smirked. "There's a will."
Look.
She pulled out a document and shoved it toward Jennifer. Jennifer took the paper with shaking hands. The will clearly said all of Henry's money and belongings would go to Lauren and Linda. But something didn't seem right. Henry's signature looked different. "This," Jennifer said slowly, "this doesn't look like Dad's handwriting." Lauren's face changed. "What are you saying?" "Of course, it's his." Linda started talking fast. "Right after Dad went into the hospital, Mom and I visited his room and had him sign it. He agreed right away not to leave you anything." Jennifer took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "Dad would never do that. He loved all of us, but he especially cared about fairness. This doesn't make sense." Lauren shouted, "Shut up. Stop trying to get something you don't deserve." Linda added, "Yeah, you think you're so special just because you took care of him. But in the end, he liked us more than his boring, serious daughter." Jennifer felt deeply hurt, but she stayed calm. She thought about her father's last words and stood tall. "Mom, Linda," she said quietly but firmly, "if this really is Dad's will, I'll respect it. But I'm going to have a lawyer check if it's real." Lauren's face twisted in anger. "There's no need for that. It's already settled." Linda scoffed. "Yeah, too late to beg for scraps now." Jennifer stood up slowly. "I understand, but I can't live with you anymore." "I'm leaving," Jennifer said. Lauren replied with a proud smile. "That's right. Leave and don't ever come back." Jennifer quietly began packing her things. The little love she had left for her family was now gone. But her father's words echoed in her heart. If there's ever a chance to make peace, value it. Before leaving the room, Jennifer turned and said, "This is how you honor Dad's memory? I can't forgive that." She paused for a moment, then added, "Still, I hope that one day we can understand each other." For a second, Lauren and Linda looked surprised. Regret briefly crossed their faces, but then their expressions turned cold again. "Go," Lauren said, "and never come back." Jennifer said nothing more. She opened the door and walked away from her childhood home. The cold night air hit her face as she stepped outside. She took a deep breath and walked forward, ready to begin a new chapter of her life. A week passed since Jennifer left home. She was now staying at her fiancé, Frank's apartment. He supported her with kindness and care. "It's okay, Jennifer," Frank said gently, placing a hand on her shoulder. "I'm here for you." Jennifer felt thankful.
Thank you, Frank.
"I'm really glad you're with me." Just then, her phone rang. It was a call from her mother, Lauren. Jennifer paused but decided to answer. Hello. Lauren's loud voice shouted from the other end. Jennifer, where did you put the money from your father's account? Jennifer stayed calm. What are you talking about, Mom? Don't act like you don't know. Lauren yelled. I checked the account, and most of the money is gone. Jennifer let out a sigh. Mom, did you ever check the balance before? Dad used that money for my wedding and the down payment for our new home. Lauren gasped. Jennifer continued. Dad knew about Frank. He used the money to help us start our life together. Lauren's voice started to shake. Then, the inheritance we were supposed to get, there's almost nothing left. Jennifer said softly. There's still the family house. There was a moment of silence. Then Linda's voice came on the line. Wait, sis, are you serious? Linda sounded nervous. What are we supposed to do now? Jennifer answered calmly. That's up to you. It's not my problem. But, Jennifer, Linda's voice cracked. I quit my job thinking we'd be fine with Dad's inheritance. Jennifer spoke firmly. Then you need to take responsibility for your own choices. Lauren took the phone again. Jennifer, please help us. We already booked a vacation and can't cancel it. Jennifer let out a small, bitter laugh. You booked a trip right after Dad's funeral? So you were never really mourning him, were you? On the other end of the line, Lauren began to cry. I'm sorry, Jennifer. We were wrong.
Please help us, Lauren said.
Jennifer took a deep breath. Mom, it's too late for apologies now. But let me say this. Dad was thinking about you both until the very end. And yet, over the phone, she could hear Lauren and Linda crying. Jennifer continued. From now on, you'll have to take care of yourselves. I don't have any duty to help you anymore. Then she hung up the phone. Frank quietly hugged her. Are you okay? Jennifer took another deep breath.
Yes.
I feel like everything is finally settled. A few months later, Jennifer and Frank began their new life in the home her father had prepared for them. Their wedding was small but full of love. On the day of the ceremony, Jennifer placed a photo of her father on the altar. Thank you, Dad, she whispered. Your love still gives me strength. Meanwhile, Lauren and Linda's lives had changed completely. Their fancy lifestyle was over, and they were struggling to pay off debts. Linda tried to get her old job back, but they didn't accept her. She started moving between part-time jobs. Lauren also had to look for work for the first time in her life. Every now and then, Jennifer heard about them, through people she knew. Sometimes, she felt a little sympathy, but only a little. 6 years later, Jennifer was walking in the park with her husband, Frank. Hey, Frank, she said, holding his hand. We're happy, aren't we? Frank smiled. Yes, we really are. Jennifer looked up at the sky. I feel like Dad is watching us. Frank nodded. I'm sure he is. He always just wanted you to be happy. Just then, Jennifer's phone rang. The number was unfamiliar. Hello, she answered. A nervous voice came through. Is this Jennifer? I'm Linda's daughter. Jennifer was surprised. She didn't even know her sister had a child. My mom is struggling, the girl said with a shaky voice. It's about money, but I don't know what to do. Jennifer was quiet for a moment. Then she spoke softly. I understand. I'll see if there's anything I can do. After she hung up, Frank looked at her. Are you okay? Who was that? Jennifer took a deep breath. It was Linda's daughter. It sounds like she and Mom are really in trouble. Frank gently asked, What do you want to do? Jennifer thought for a while before answering. I can't fully forgive them, but I also can't just leave them like this. Dad would want me to help. Even a little. Frank nodded. I'll support whatever you decide. Jennifer looked up at the sky. Sunlight peeked through the clouds, warm and gentle. Dad, she whispered in her heart. I haven't forgotten what you taught me, Dad, Jennifer thought. Family bonds, even when hurt, are never completely broken. From that day on, Jennifer decided to slowly rebuild her relationship with her mother and Linda. It wasn't easy, and it took time, but the love and kindness her father, Henry, had taught her helped guide the way. By 2023, Jennifer was 70 years old. She had become a successful lawyer and had helped many people over the years. Sitting beside her now was her 10-year-old granddaughter, Barbara. "Grandma, what happened after that?" Barbara asked, her eyes full of curiosity. Jennifer smiled gently. "Well, it took time, but we slowly healed. Grandma Linda and great-grandma Lauren realized their mistakes and truly said sorry. Now we meet as a family sometimes." She continued, "We're not as close as we once were, but we've learned to care for each other again." Barbara listened with wonder. "That's amazing, Grandma. Forgiving people must be really hard." Jennifer softly patted Barbara's head. "Yes, Barbara, it is. But when you forgive, your heart feels lighter, and you get a chance to build something new." Barbara nodded seriously. "But," Jennifer added, "forgiving doesn't mean you forget who you are. You should never lose your values. That's something your great-great-grandfather, my dad, taught me." Jennifer looked out the window. In the garden, colorful flowers were blooming. She had planted them with her mother and Linda. "Families can hurt each other," she said quietly. "But they're still family. What matters most is trying to understand one another and never forgetting love." Barbara listened closely, taking every word to heart. Jennifer stood up and took a photo album from the shelf. "Hey, Barbara, want to look at this? It's our family album." Barbara sat beside her grandmother, excited. Jennifer slowly opened the album. Inside were photos filled with laughter, sadness, fights, and forgiveness, a full range of emotions captured in pictures. "Look," Jennifer said, pointing to a photo. "This is your great-grandfather, Henry." He was smiling in the photo. "He looks kind," Barbara said, staring at it. Jennifer nodded.
He was.
"He taught us the meaning of family and how important it is to stick together." As she turned the pages, Jennifer shared the family's full story with Barbara, the happy times and the hard ones. She didn't hide anything because it was all part of the lesson she wanted to pass down. As the sun began to set, coloring the sky in warm tones, Jennifer and Barbara walked out into the garden. "Hey, Barbara," Jennifer said softly, "life is full of challenges. But there's nothing you can't overcome. Believe in your family. Believe in yourself. And always treasure the people you love." Barbara squeezed her grandmother's hand tightly. "I understand, Grandma," Barbara said. "I will cherish my family too. And I want to be strong and kind like you." Jennifer hugged her granddaughter tightly. Tears of joy filled her eyes. She felt deeply thankful. A soft breeze blew around them, and Jennifer felt something warm in her heart, like her father, Henry, was watching over them. "Thank you, Dad," she whispered in her heart. "Your final gift brought happiness back to our family." As the sun went down and night began, Jennifer made a quiet promise to herself, to keep valuing her family and to move forward with love in the days ahead.